We need a quick mention to Arsenal, and on Arsenal I wanted to mention a name of young talent. His name is Vasilije Kostov. He's an offensive midfielder playing for Red Stal Belgrade, 17 years old, very interesting player with potential. Italian clubs and German clubs have been tracking him, but now it's true, what's being reported in Serbia, also Arsenal are following Kostov. And they are following him closely. They made contact with people close to the player. They are considering a move for him. Arsenal want to invest also on talents, not only on established players. And so Kostov is one of the talents Arsenal are monitoring. Then, it's still early to say if Arsenal will close this deal, but Arsenal have genuine interest in this player. They've been scouting and following this boy, and so this could be an interesting situation to follow ahead of the summer transfer window.
Gooners, the summer transfer window is almost upon us, and Arsenal may well be busy again. Indeed, the Gunners have been linked with a number of interesting transfer targets as we head into silly season once again. Arsenal's interest in Tino Livermento appears to be gathering pace, and the move makes increasing sense when looking at the squad's current needs. According to Ben Jacobs, Arsenal are one of 2 Premier League clubs prepared to make an offer. Listen to what Ben Jacobs told the United Stand, and this is absolutely critical. According to the journalist, both Arsenal and Manchester City are indeed ready to make offers for the right back. But at this stage, things are advancing with the Gordon exit. There are 2 Premier League clubs for Livermento, in particular in Arsenal and Manchester City, that are prepared to make offers, and that might give Newcastle the upper hand on keeping both midfielders Tonali and Guimaraes, Jacobs said. That last point is important. If Newcastle are able to sell elsewhere, it reduces the chances of them needing to offload a midfielder like Sandro Tonali. Arsenal have been linked with Tonali, but a move for Livermento could signal a shift in priorities rather than a double deal. From Arsenal's perspective, the need at right-back is becoming clearer. Ben White has been a consistent performer for most of Arteta's tenure, but recent displays have raised questions. His level has dipped. And against top opposition, those small changes become more noticeable. Arsenal may not be looking to replace him, but they do need stronger competition and depth in that position. Livermento offers exactly that. Not only does Livermento add more depth at right-back, he also adds more cover at left-back, which could be important as Miles Lewis-Skelly's future is in doubt as well. Of course, Manchester City's concurrent interest does complicate things, and with Livermento being valued at £60 million, it will be interesting to see if Arsenal do indeed pull the trigger on this deal. £60 million for Livermento when Man City are also circling. Would you take that deal, or should we focus on other positions first? Let me know below. While Arsenal plan transfers, Thierry Henry has a warning for Arteta. Gooners, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta is under serious pressure to end his side's trophy drought. The Gunners haven't won the Premier League title for 22 years, and they have never had the privilege of lifting the Champions League in their history. Arsenal are alive in both competitions, and an argument can be made that they are the favourites to go all the way. But what happens if they don't? Thierry Henry has had his say. And it's brutal. Mikel Arteta has been in charge of Arsenal for over 6 years now. The Spaniard won the FA Cup and Community Shield in his first year at the club, and he has since transformed the Gunners. Arsenal are now one of the best teams in the world thanks to Arteta. But the fact that he hasn't won the Premier League and Champions League yet has sparked a debate. Many are of the view that the Gunners' boss must end that drought this season. If he doesn't, some want him gone. Arsenal legend Henry has now claimed that the board will question Arteta if he doesn't win any silverware this season, because they have backed him with a lot of money. Listen to what Thierry Henry said on CBS Sports. The board is going to have to decide what they're going to do with Mikel Arteta. All I'm saying is that at one point, after all those years and the amount of money on the table to have 2 teams, we've all said Arsenal have the best squad this season. At one point, you will have to talk and answer some questions if you don't win. It's just a normal thing after so long. Henry continued with the damning assessment. You can add time, because when you talk about managers going to big clubs, they don't have the time to make sure that they can show you what they are about. Mikel has shown us what he is about. Money on the table, 2 teams or 3 teams, almost at one point. While it's all good and we are all supporting as Arsenal fans where we are going to be, but if it doesn't happen, like I always said, you're going to have to answer some questions that the board is going to ask you. Are we frustrated that Arsenal haven't won the Premier League or the Champions League? Yes. However, to say that Arteta should be shown the door after all the work he has done is just a ridiculous statement. What's even worse is that the same people calling for the Spaniards' job are the ones who want someone like Cesc Fabregas to replace him. Don't expect the Kroenkes to change anything on the managerial front this summer, irrespective of how this season ends, because they know it would be a foolish decision. Is Henry being too harsh on Arteta here, or is he absolutely right that after 6 years and all that money, the board will demand answers? Drop your thoughts. Finally, a new FIFA rule could change everything for one Arsenal player. Gooners, every now and then, FIFA introduce new rules into football that completely change the game. Introducing the back pass rule, allowing 5 substitutes in a game, and of course the introduction of VAR have all affected top-level football in recent history. Now, FIFA have cooked up another idea that could change the way teams are made up, and it could save Miles Lewis-Skelly's Arsenal career. Here's what ESPN report about the new FIFA rule, and this is absolutely critical. Via ESPN, FIFA reportedly planned to introduce a rule requiring teams to field at least one homegrown under-21 player at all times. This could have a major impact on squad building, and for Arsenal, it might come at the perfect time for Miles Lewis-Skelly. The 19-year-old has fallen out of favour in recent months. Opportunities have become limited, and there have even been questions about his long-term future at the club. However, a rule like this would instantly change his situation. Clubs would no longer be able to rely purely on experience or establish stars for every minute of every game. They would need a young, trusted option they can deploy without weakening the team. That is where Lewis-Skelly comes back into the picture. He has already shown he can perform at the top level. Lewis-Skelly has delivered strong performances in big games, proving he is not just a prospect, but a player capable of handling pressure. At Arsenal, the easiest position to integrate a young player consistently is perhaps at left back. Yes, there's an argument that Max Daumann or Ethan Nwaneri could fulfill this role. But in order to get one of those players in the team, you need to remove Bukayo Saka or Martin Odegaard. Dropping players like Ricardo Calafiori or Piero Hincapié is far less disruptive than removing key attacking players or the captain. That makes Lewis-Skelly a practical option in a way others are not. Lewis-Skelly showed last year in big games and big moments that he is able to perform when it matters. And while he hasn't been trusted in that role this season, he could be back in the mix next term. Lewis-Skelly's Arsenal future looked uncertain a few weeks ago, but now he could once again become a key player. This FIFA rule forcing one under-21 player on the pitch at all times. Does this actually save Lewis-Skelly's career, or will Arteta just use Daumann and Nwaneri instead? What do you reckon? That's it for today, Gooners. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and hit subscribe for Arsenal news every single day. And drop a comment letting me know, where are you watching from? London? Kenya? USA? Let's see how global this Arsenal family is. Come on, you Gunners.